All right, what's going on, y'all? It's A1 Andre, and we back with another video today. And you read the title, so you know what the video is going to be about. We talking about NBA 2K25, PS5, Xbox Series X gameplay possibilities. And before I continue, gotta do it. Change the outfit, look at the drip. We gotta look at the drip shake, you know what I'm saying? No cringe, but look at the drip though. We got the Nikes, pink to match the laces, matching brown shirt. We clean with it, you know what I'm saying? We clean.
Stop it.
Let me stop playing around because I know that y'all don't care. But nah, if y'all watched the last video, you know what I said. You know we talked about gameplay a little bit. We talked about the PS5, PS6, etc., and we talked about gameplay with how I don't think 2K can go, but so far with improving their gameplay. Which is why in this possibilities video, I'm not gonna be going too much in depth or saying things that are too tough for them to implement or things that are more intricate for them to implement to make the game better, because they can't do it probably because of the fact that they're on PS5 and Xbox Series X hardware. So for example, to explain to y'all what I'm talking about, wait, why am I so close to to better explain to y'all what I'm talking about, for example, this is a gameplay possibilities video. So I want to say something like a way 2K can improve the game is by getting a new gameplay engine. But as I stated in my last video, if you watched it, you would know I said they can't do that really because they're limited to what they can do with the system hardware and software they have on PS5 and Xbox Series X, because they've been on the same gameplay engine since like 2K21 next gen or 2K18, so they probably can't do all that. So instead, in this video, what I'm going to be doing, unfortunately, is going over things that they can implement into the game before the game's finished, or things they can implement as the game's already finished and they can just add in once the game's already been made already, like add them in like season by season if they're gonna bring seasons back, for example, which we don't know yet if they're gonna bring back seasons. But so my talking points in this video is gonna be 3 aesthetic ways that can improve gameplay and 3 ways that can actually improve, you know what I'm saying, core gameplay. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about in this video. And before I continue, I'm gonna say right now, if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button, man. Why not? Well, other than the fact I haven't really uploaded and I ain't really that consistent, but I will be consistent though, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be more consistent coming up soon because the game's right around the corner. On top of that, I'm playing other games as well on other channels, so check out A1 Andre FGC if you want to, you know, fighting games, toxic trash talkers. I got a video in the works for that, this toxic trash talking rating player. You gonna want to see that. The video was hilarious. I'm telling you right now, it's hilarious. Check it out after this video if you want to, when it comes up, whenever it releases, because it's not released yet at the time it's recording, but it will be releasing pretty soon. So when y'all get the chance, check that video out. I'm telling y'all, it's hilarious. Anyway, NBA 2K25, PS5, Xbox Series X gameplay possibilities. So we're talking about 3 ways they can improve gameplay from an aesthetic gameplay standpoint. Then we're talking about 3 ways they can improve gameplay from a core gameplay standpoint. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into the first aesthetic way they can improve the gameplay. All right, so my idea number 1 is the first way 2K can improve the gameplay from an aesthetic gameplay standpoint is by adding more animations, which should be easier because of the fact that they've implemented Pro Play in recent years with 2K24, which 2K24 Pro Play was actually kind of a gimmick in my opinion. No hate to 2K or nothing like that, but like it was kind of a gimmick because, well, a lot of reasons. I can get into that later. But anyway, because they got Pro Play in the game, it should be easier to do this now, which means they can just record players a lot more like they were doing like with Pro Play with 24. So anyway, I think 2K25 can add in new gameplay animations with Pro Play if they bring it back for 25, and add it in with different players with different play styles, different sizes, etc., etc. So my first idea is like, say for example, you got a player like Joel Embiid, and then you got a player like Tim Duncan. We all know that Tim Duncan and Joel Embiid are 2 completely different type of players, even when it comes to getting rebounds. So let's just say Tim Duncan gets a rebound. Tim Duncan gets the ball and holds the ball over his head as he's hitting the rebound. And then when he gets to the ground, he kind of pushes the ball onto the court and pushes the break a little bit before he passes it off to like Tony Parker or somebody. Versus Joel Embiid getting the rebound and grabbing it with 2 hands and then kind of like doing like a little jog step that he does. You know, the little slow pace little step that he does, the gather step, and then throws it up to like Tyrese Maxey or something. They have 2 completely different style rebound styles, I guess you can call it. And these are for the bigger players. And let's just say for like small forwards or shooting guards like LeBron and MJ, they can add in walking styles. So for example, go back to NBA Live 10. LeBron James's walking style in NBA Live 10 was actually authentic to the way LeBron James walked in real life. For those of y'all that's old enough to remember, go back and look at, matter of fact, I'm gonna probably put it on screen. Look at LeBron James's walking animation from NBA Live 10 and look at it in real life. Accurate, identical just about. Not even real life, just look at it on Live 10. You can see that that's how LeBron walked in real life. Like they got it down pat. And part of the reason why they did that is because Live had competition with 2K10 at the time. But now 2K doesn't have the same walking animations they had back then. 2K still has walking animations in the game, but it's not the same as it was. It's not as detailed because they don't try as much because they don't have competition, which I've said that in other videos. I got a competition video coming out pretty soon about 2K with competition, but that's another video, so just stay tuned for that. Anyway, 2K's walking animations they have in the game now are not spot on to the players with how they were back then at the time, and players that are still currently in the NBA. Like Ja Morant's walking style is not really identical to Ja. I mean, then again, who's looking at Ja Morant walk? You know what I'm saying? Ja Morant ain't even walking on the court. He walking with his friends in the streets trying to be a...
Bro, Ja, we need you for playoffs, man. We 7-19. So you feel like the niggas is playing with me?
Another example is 2K11, which a lot of people say is the best 2K of all time. Look at Michael Jordan's walking style even in the trailer. We saw that the game was serious, and that's part of the reason why I took the game so seriously myself, because at that time I showed the trailer to one of my friends at the time, and he said, yeah, we got to get this game. Because we saw the level of detail they had with Michael Jordan's walking style. It brought a new layer of authenticity onto the game because they actually tried, and you can tell the devs paid attention to how Michael Jordan actually walked because they went back and watched the game, so you could see it. They actually really tried, versus how Michael Jordan walks in this game is not how it was in 2K11. Like, it's some little things like that, you know what I'm saying? And then also, that's for small forward shooting guards. For my smaller players like point guards, take fast breaks for an example. Look at how a player like Russell Westbrook is kind of herky-jerky and shifty when he runs, or how he kind of shifts and when he runs on a fast break and pushes the pace on fast breaks. Russell Westbrook kind of runs like a 1977 Corvette, as some guys will say, or some commentators will probably say, you know, those older guys. Then take a player like John Wall, who runs like a Tesla. John Wall's not herky-jerky at all. When John Wall used to get the ball back in his prime, he would just speed up and just go accelerate. And John Wall's body wouldn't shift when he ran. He would just speed up like a Tesla. So Russell Westbrook, take a player like Russell Westbrook who speeds up like a Corvette or something, and then take a player like John Wall who speeds up smooth like a Tesla. But those of y'all that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Or take Derrick Rose, who's very herky-jerky. When he speeds up, his body shifts and he kind of like pushes his hip. Like I'll put it on screen so y'all know what I'm talking about. Look at a player like that versus John Wall, how his body doesn't really move and he just speeds up like he's a robot or something. Or like a Tesla, like I said. Like, look at that. And then also, another example I have is look at NBA 2K10. Look at how the players speed up on fast breaks and how they push the ball from one hand to the other. It's very realistic in real life for some players. And then look at recent 2Ks, how on fast breaks, you can see that their dribbling hand is just dribbling the ball like normal. But then they offhand is doing this weird thing to where it looks like their hand is being a windshield wiper for a car with windshield wipers that don't work or something like that. Or it looks like they're trying to put their arm into a jacket when the sleeve won't come out all the way. So they just kind of like trying to jimmy it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't look realistic at all. And it's terrible. 2K, please take that offhand animation out of the game when your player sprints. I hate it so much. It's an eyesore. I hate to see it. So that's what I mean by aesthetic gameplay animations. And those are 3 different examples I gave for 3 different ideas I have for aesthetic gameplay animations, because I think the current aesthetic gameplay animations in the game with pro play added does help out a little bit, because we all know pro play was supposed to affect both aesthetic gameplay as well as core gameplay, but it kind of failed a little bit because it was kind of a gimmick. Because let's be real, most people that played 24 still use Patty Mills, they still use Jamal Murray behind the back and James Harden behind the back, because since 2K18 or 2K21, those have been like the best behind the back animations in the game, which was like I said, James Harden, Jamal Murray. It's been that way since like 21. How we got pro play in the game and yet we still using the same animations from like 21, which was before pro play. So that's why they should add more animations from an aesthetic gameplay standpoint, which I know won't affect gameplay, so it's not that important, but aesthetically it just looks better, and it's not, it keeps the game more fresh. Whether you're a core gameplay player or a part player, you can add it in regardless, or you play my team. So this is something for everybody. But anyway, that's it for aesthetics. Now on to the more important core gameplay. You know how we can make our own jump shots with the jump shot creator? Then in I think 22 we can make our own dunks. I think it was it 22 or 21? One of those 2Ks we can make our own dunks. Well, in 25 we should be able to make our own dribble moves. Let me explain. I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain. So, because of the fact that 2K loves to withhold the best animations until later on in the season, once players have stopped playing the game, which is crazy, instead of doing that, what 2K can do is let us have a beginning, middle, and an end, kind of a 3-part sequence to our dribble moves. So for example, we can have our gather, which could be like an extended Allen Iverson type extend dribble move, then have like a middle part to where you can choose to crossover. Just give us like a 3-part dribble system to where we can have a dribble creator or a dribble move creator or something, because we need like a dribble move creator. I think that'll help keep the game fresh, because that way have dribble moves and experiment and kind of put pieces together like a puzzle, kind of like with Mortal Kombat with how they had the variation system in like MK11, even though the game was trash, but you know, anyway. Give us kind of like a dribble variation system and kind of like balance it out in the first patch if you see something that's broken. Because let's be real with that, I'm not gonna lie, even though that's probably a good idea, let's be real. There's gonna be some little Timmy's that's gonna find something broken, so just patch it, because 2K can patch it, so if they find something broken, just patch it. But a dribble system will help keep the game fresh. It'll be great for players and content creators all alike, but a new dribbling creator is something they need to add in the game ASAP. All right, now of course for possibility number 3, we're talking about defense. We talked about 2 moves for offense. Now we're talking about defense, because we can't forget defense. So first and foremost, when we talking defense, we talking for point guard, shooting guard, small forwards, stealing the ball. How can we not talk about stealing the ball? That's part of defense, right? Shouldn't they go for steals? So if y'all remember back in 2K14, they had 2 different ways you could steal the ball. They had a regular steal attempt, and then I think if you held down, let's just say you're on PlayStation, you held down, what was it, R2 and the steal button, which was square, or 1 if you play fighting games, let's just say 1. If you press the 1 button on your controller, which is square or X, then you would get like a life steal without holding R2. But again, if you hold R2 with square or X on Xbox, then you would get an aggressive steal attempt. They should bring that back into 2K25 to where you can have 2 different steal attempts. Matter of fact, make it 3. So I believe that a life steal attempt is to where if you have like a higher steal rating, then you can really just reach for a steal. If you miss the steal attempt, you won't be taken out of the play too much. You know what I'm saying? You won't be taken out of the play. Now, if you have, let's just say, a 80 steal rating or higher, or let's just say, yeah, like a 80 steal rating or higher, you go for a steal. Life steal attempt can be your, way to go. Now, if you go for like a middle steal attempt, then your rating can be like, let's just say a 70 steal or higher or whatever to get a middle steal attempt, without, you can use middle, low, or high for anything, but let's just say you go for a middle steal attempt. So middle can be called, I don't know, standard steal. Then you can have level 3 being like called something like aggressive steal attempt. You know what I'm saying? So middle can be like, you have to have like a 70 or higher, or 65 steal attempt or higher to be able to get the best middle steal attempts. But you can do all 3 no matter what your steal rating is, but it just works best at that rating, I guess you could say. Then you can have like an aggressive steal attempt to where like you don't have as high as a steal rating, you kind of like have a big player or like a player that don't have high steal rating, so aggressive steal attempt would be the best bet for you. Middle or aggressive, depending on the matchup and how your matchup is standing in front of you. You can go for a more aggressive steal attempt, and it gives you a higher likelihood of stealing the ball, but it also gives you a higher likelihood of being out of the play. So like, let's just say you go for a high steal attempt or an aggressive steal attempt, and you try to swipe the ball free, but you miss the steal attempt, so your opponent gets by you easier. But if you actually get the steal attempt, well, if you go for it, it higher your chance. But it's kind of like a risk reward type. Y'all know what I'm saying. Some of y'all know what I'm saying. Or like for those of y'all that play Street Fighter 6, it's like having 3 different level super moves. For those of y'all that play Street Fighter 6, you know what I'm talking about. How you have like a level 1, level 2, then level 3 super move. So for those of y'all that play Street Fighter 6, like I said, it can be like that. How the super move system is in Street Fighter. Or your Ultra, whatever it's called. I don't be playing Street Fighter that often, so I can't remember what it's exactly called. But like I said, for all my hardcore Street Fighter fans, or for all my hardcore Street Fighter players, you know what I mean. So your steal attempts can be like level 1, level 2, level 3, like it is in Street Fighter 6 with like the level 1, level 2, level 3 with the finishers and all that stuff. So same concept. And like I said, your steal rating can determine what's best for you to go for, whether it be level 1, level 2, or level 3. And although this might not be the best idea, it's still better than what we have, in my opinion, because right now we all know that if you go for a steal attempt, the game's gonna sometimes give you a regular steal attempt, and other times you go for a steal attempt and you're gonna hack your opponent and it's gonna call a foul on you, and it's not even something you're trying to do. You go for a regular swipe attempt, the game will make you try to take the guy's head off, and it's really annoying because it gives a foul on you, and then also it stops the whole play and it stops everything. And it's like, I'm just going for a regular steal attempt. Why they gonna give me all this? You know what I'm saying? So for those of y'all that play this game, you know what I'm talking about. I don't play the game like that, but I still know that happens. So that's annoying when it happens. So that's why I think this should be in the game for stealing. So anyway, on to the second part. So for small forwards and power forwards, it could be like chase down blocks, what type of chase down block you want, and then for big men, it could be like what type of block you want in general. If you're like in the paint or trying to close out on a 3, and your man is switching off you with his opponent, so you got to switch on to his man. You're trying to close out on a 3 for him because he's out of position. Instead of a 3-level system with stealing, it could be like a 2-level system with blocking. So anyway, slap blocking, not slap boxing. We ain't talking about what you do in school with your friends and all that stuff. Slap blocking. So level 1 can be like a slap block where you just do like a usual like swat the shot away or go for a block attempt. And then level 2 can be the aggressive type where it can be like when you want to chase down. Because right now, if you go for a chase down on somebody who has a high dunk rating on 2K24, what's going to happen is you go for like a regular block attempt, they can just dunk it on you anyway. But if you go for a more aggressive block attempt, then what can happen in 25 is to where you go for a level 2 block attempt. If they have a higher dunk rating, the level 2 block can be to where your my player reaches out and tries to grab the ball and pull it down, like how Ben Wallace once did to Shaq, or how you see like Anthony Davis or JaVale McGee kind of just yank the ball out of the air. And that's something you have to do against somebody who has a high dunk rating on a fast break or something, instead of getting like a chase down, because level 1 might not be enough. So level 2 can be like trying to actually like get the ball out of the person's hands or something like that. You know what I'm saying? For like if you have like a certain level of strength on your, like your my player or whatever, because strength should matter with that also. So I don't know, it's just an idea I have for like blocking. Because also you should be able to control what type of block attempt you go for, because let's be real, in this game right now, or in the current game before 25 is out, when you go for a block, like I said, you reach for the block and you don't know what animation you're gonna get at the time, because there's no control over it really. At least not to my knowledge, because again, I don't play this game like that. But to my knowledge, you go for a block attempt, trying to get a chase down, your opponent goes for a swipe, and a lot of times your my player is swiping in the wrong direction. Like his face is not even looking at the person, he's just going for a generic swipe attempt, and he's not even close to the, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have a chance to even block it. Even if you're close enough to actually be able to block it, the animation you get is just not the right animation. So you should be able to control which animation you get, or which block type you get, based off of how close you are to your actual opponent when they're going for a dunk on it, like a chase down. And of course, level 1 blocks can be for like closing out, like I said, if you're a big man, or if you're switching off to like your teammate's opponent anyway, on like a closeout switch or something. You got to close out on their man because they switched off them to your man. You know, you closing out, trying to get a block at the 3-point line, so you go for like a level 1 block. You know, level 2 can be like chase downs, like I said. So anyway, that's all I got for number 3. So I think that the blocking needs to have a new system in the game to where you can control how you play defense better with blocking and stealing. So I think that would be good in 2K25 if they add those things in. Alright y'all, so those are the 3 different categories I have for trying to make the game better 25 from a gameplay standpoint. Of course, like I said, I wanted to say more in-depth things, like things that have to do with like changing the actual engine, but of course, we on PS5 Series X currently, so I can't go but so far with what I want in the game, because I know that the PS5 and the Xbox Series X hardware and software cannot handle, well mainly software, cannot handle what my request will be, you know, for making the game better, because they're about to overhaul the actual engine to actually improve the gameplay to the level that I want it to be improved to. So that's why I tried to go light with what I said in this video. So anyway, y'all, with that being said, that's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. And of course, stay tuned for my next upload. Also, if you didn't watch my last video, I said that I have another channel called A1 Andre FGC. That's a fighting game channel. I got this video coming out with this toxic, salty rating player. It's hilarious. I'm telling you, this video is hilarious. This dude was going crazy, yo. He was... Yo, this dude was going so crazy when I beat him. Like, it was so crazy, the first match. But you're gonna wanna watch that video, I'm telling you. If you like fighting games, if you like Mortal Kombat, even if you don't like fighting games, the video's still entertaining. Like, even if you don't care about fighting games, the video's still entertaining to me. The dude was just hilarious, I'm telling you. So watch that video if you want to after this one. Also, stay tuned for more possibilities videos coming out real soon. Of course, subscribe if you're new and all that good stuff. But anyway, y'all, that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna finally get up out of here, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. So until next time, it's been your boy A1 Andre, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.